Deep breath, Mac. We're going to a game 7.
Yeah, we are. Game 7. That feels good to say, yes.
Oh man. Okay, so we are live following a 6-2 Toronto Blue Jays victory over the Seattle Mariners. The series is now tied at 3 games apiece, and I'm a little bit rattled. I don't know if you can tell, but that was an experience to say the least. Like, we're gonna dig into this game. Um, the biggest thing I've got to say is, man, like, playoff baseball is a roller coaster. I genuinely, I'm rattled. How you feeling?
Yeah, there is nothing like it when you're up against the bandsaw do or die game. Yeah, I mean the Blue Jays haven't had a ball game of this magnitude for a while. Like they weren't in the ALCSs in 15 and 16 like they're in this one right now. And they just looked really good early today. So it was just a really positive feeling, but also, yeah, man, like it's a tough 9 innings to watch high anxiety baseball because things can go wrong at any moment. We've seen that in game 5. Thank God we didn't have to talk about that. But we're not going to talk about that.
It's over.
Yeah, great energy tonight. It was just evident from first pitch. So many things to talk about tonight, but great win. We get to live for another day and a game 7, best word in baseball. Game 7 for the Toronto Blue Jays tomorrow night. I can't believe I'm saying that. That is awesome.
Yeah, if you told me after the Jays went down 2-0 that there was going to be a game 7, I would have been ecstatic, knowing that it's going to be at the Rogers Center. You're, if not the best, one of the best home teams in baseball, by record, proven all year. Like, that was the Jays' 100th win of the season. Mac, this team is so good, man, and I feel like a game 7, with a chance to put themselves in the World Series to face the Los Angeles Dodgers, that's what they deserve. And they put themselves in this spot, and I'm ecstatic for them. I'm ecstatic for, like, us as fans. I'm ecstatic for the fan base. As I mentioned, the Blue Jays win 6-2, and they have forced a game 7. I think we can get into the nitty-gritty of this game a little bit here. Let's settle it down, and let's talk about the guy who had ice in his veins all evening tonight, the 22-year-old, the rookie, Trey Savage. Mac, what's up with Trey Savage tonight?
Oh man, like I'm a big fan of the history of this game, and like you don't want to be speak of hyperbole in the playoffs. You're prone to this time of year, but this is literally the stuff of legends, right? And Trey taking the ball today. Big thing I was watching at home was just kind of his demeanor, his mechanics, how he was feeling in that first inning, because it wasn't great in game 2, the first game he started in this series. It was a little different than the starts he had had, the other big pressure starts that he had had. Tonight, he looked locked in. He was making his pitches early. He got some big strikeouts early. Raleigh absolutely froze Suarez in the second inning. Yeah, there's so much to get into with him, but like you said, ice in his veins, rising to that moment. He talks how he's built for this moment. You've got to back that up, and he did absolutely everything asked of him tonight, backing that up. And yeah, it is the stuff of legends. This is the stuff that like early in the careers of big guys, pitchers that have gone on to do a lot of things in this game. These are things they do early in their careers. Not a lot of guys can do this. And like, I don't want to make it a bigger narrative about Trey right now. Like he just pitched in the game of his life, this game 6 that the Toronto Blue Jays needed. They needed this performance from him. Don't need to get ahead of ourselves with him at all, but like just so excited for somebody to take this opportunity that he's been given and rise to it as he has.
He has absolutely risen to this occasion. Chris is saying he's built for this, and it's hard to deny it. Isn't that's the quote? That's what he said. He said he's built for this, and all he's done is prove it. All he has done is prove it. He absolutely handled Rodriguez as well, is what Wheat is saying in the chat. The line on Savage tonight, 5 2/3, 6 hits. So he did get touched up a little bit. Like, he was working in and out of trouble all night. 2 earned runs. One of those was a single that Varland allowed to come in, and then 3 walks. And like, the highlight for me is 7 strikeouts on 15 whiffs. Like the way he misses bats, the way he's able to keep guys from putting the ball in play. Like you can't get hurt if they don't put the ball in play. And the fact that this is the second time the Mariners have seen him this series, and he still was able to work 7 strikeouts, work deep into the game in the 6th inning. And I know we can argue about if the 6th inning is deep into a game, but in the playoffs, that's deep into the game. And he got the chance to face a lineup the third time. He got the top of the lineup a third time. It was so impressive. And like I have to keep reminding myself he's 22 years old because he looks like he's been doing this forever. Like his demeanor on the mound is unreal. I could talk about him all night. The biggest thing for me is he got a lot of help from his defense, right? So I mentioned that he was in jams early and often a little bit. Got 3 double plays. What did you see from the Jays defense, Mac?
Jay's defense was great, but that like baseball's the only sport where the defense controls the ball, right? And the pitcher has such an impact on every single play that happens. And I thought Trey's best work tonight came when he was in trouble. So his defense made some great plays behind him, but I thought his best pitches were to get those double play balls. The one on Raleigh in the third starts him off, splitter inside, in on the hands. Raleigh's a little out in front, gets him to roll over, exactly what he wants on that ball. And like we'll talk about the defense after too. But in the 4th inning, the play after there, he goes after, he gets a strike on the outside edge, first pitch, strike at the knee, second pitch, and then gets the double play after. Ball game's getting away from him at that point. We've seen it get away from Jay starters before. We've seen Max Scherzer in game 4 kind of battle that a little bit too and work through some jams. I thought that was Trey at his best today, calmed down, executed his pitches, and just kind of earned those double play balls. But 2 great plays on those double play balls. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. just needs to start getting a lot more love for his work over at first base. I mean, I actually asked one of the guys after, I was like, can you imagine how many tries you'd have to give Naylor, Crawford, and Gilbert try to turn that 3-6-1, and Toronto makes it look so smooth. And it's started with Vlad on that front end of it. Great, terrific athletic play, makes a great play, and just really rolls something that shouldn't roll that simple. And then IKF, great play. That's a really, really tough hop for an infielder. You kind of see he kind of fielded it a pad awkwardly, but there's no good way to field that baseball. You got to make sure you're getting your body in front of it. Made sure he had the ball, unlike something Suarez didn't do the inning before. He made sure he had the ball, made a good feed to second base, and got Yasevich out of another jam. So back to back, big innings there where the game can go a lot differently. Yasevich calms down, executes his pitch, and his defense makes plays behind him.
Yeah, man. I think the Jays defense has been one of the areas that they've been able to separate themselves from the Mariners, especially in those 3 wins. And as Chris is mentioning in the chat here, if we're talking about defense, we should talk about how much fun it is to watch Cal Raleigh play defense.
Yeah,
That's
man.
kind of a
Poor
crazy
Cal.
comment. Cal Raleigh catching a stray there. Um, I
Yeah.
think he. Go ahead. What do you have?
He just looks beat up, man. Like
Yeah.
he had the season he had, and I don't think he caught any more than the Mariners have asked him to in years past. I actually think he caught the least he has in the past 3 seasons this year. But yeah, he just looks kind of like accumulation of a long season for him. Like we're seeing balls get by him. He's not 100% there on balls in the dirt. That ball tonight, the Jay's 6th run there, like that's just the ball you got to eat. You don't force a play, don't throw that baseball. So yeah, it's good because the Jays certainly heading into Game 7, you can say they have the advantage there because Perky's handling the duties behind the dish. It seems like a bit better, but even Raleigh at the plate, like a couple strikeouts tonight, he's behind on some fastballs. Like he just looks a little burnt out at this point in the season. You don't want to, I don't want to say that and get bit tomorrow, but definitely today he looked a little worn out and his play reflected it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to bite my tongue a little bit on the Cal Raleigh slander until maybe this time tomorrow night, hopefully. But yeah, I think like I have been. This is a guy that's a platinum glover, right? And I have been pretty unimpressed with the defense, to say the least. Like the blocking, I don't know if it looks lazy, but he looks like sometimes he's a beat behind, especially blocking. And like I've been like the framing has not been great, and like he's is a great framer. And obviously like catching that Seattle Mariners pitching staff has to be impossible. Like those guys all throw high 90s and it all moves like crazy. So it's hard to
Yeah,
get on
and
him too much for that. But but
you
yeah,
just wonder this time of year too. Guys are always playing with things too, right? And for all he's got something that he's tweaked or he's playing through something that maybe he normally wouldn't play. Guys aren't going to really say that this time of year if they don't have to. Not giving him an out. It maybe just was a bad game, but this series he has just seemed, yeah, a little worn out behind the dish, and that play tonight. That led to a run. He should have just ate that baseball and not try to force that play.
yeah, and that was a huge run. Like that was like that fourth run. So it made it 6-2 Jays. Vladdy coming in after advancing on a wild pitch and then a throwing error by Rayleigh. And that was a huge run for the breathing room. Pretty awesome to see there. If you're a Jays fan, and a really, really demoralizing one if you're a Mariners fan. And you mentioned like there's a good chance he's beat up. Like catchers always are beat up, especially playing this much and this late into the season. A guy that's beat up for the Jays, and he looked at tonight, George Springer. How do you? Well, I can tell you how I think he's feeling, and it's not good. That was a gutsy performance for him to even be out on the field. But we kind of had this conversation in game one when Nathan Lucas hurt his knee, fouled the ball off his knee. Is 85%, 75% of George Springer worth it to have in the lineup in a game seven? Like he looks rough, and obviously one swing and it's worth it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like he looks like he's really, really battling that knee.
Yeah, he is. And I think that's something obviously that'll get assessed tomorrow, see how he's doing. But I don't see if George Springer wants to play game seven, if he says he's ready to go, he's going to be in the lineup and he's leading off. I don't think you take that opportunity away from him. I for what he's done all season, if he says he's good to go, you put him in there. And you know what, tonight he had an impact on the game even though he wasn't 100%. He had a great leadoff at bat against Gilbert, 9 pitches,
Yeah,
kind
he
of
did.
really set the tempo for everything they did against Gilbert all night. He was good. He's locked in at the plate. He's not 100% on his swing. There was a few pitches where you can see he's kind of wincing, A, because of the knee, but B, maybe that's something he can get a handle on if he's playing at 100%. But I think what he does, what he gives Toronto in that leadoff spot, and like you said, it just takes one. And playoffs, they're built on these moments. You need to just put your best players in a position to make those moments a reality. And if he says he's ready to go, unless he gets out there and something indicates that he's not, he needs to be at the top of the order tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think there's a 99% chance that he will be. This stage is made for
Yeah.
George Springer. Game seven in the American League Championship Series. The Jays are going to be playing the Mariners. It's pretty hard to believe that we're going to get there, or that
Yeah.
we have gotten there. We're there. Like, oh, an
Yeah.
insane, insane turn of events. Let's keep going here. Logan Gilbert, 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. What did you see from him that you liked or didn't like? Why were the Jays able to get him on or get on him so early?
Jays just were locked in at the plate today. Like I think that's kind of just my explanation for it. Like Gilbert was okay. I don't think he pitched terribly, but Toronto was just hitting them, and when they're locked in so far in this postseason, it doesn't really matter who that is on the mound. A guy like Logan Gilbert, for sure, they're going to handle him. So, um, yeah, like I thought he pitched okay. A little surprised Seattle kept him out there for the fifth or pulled them when they did. I'm not really sure. Kind of questioning why Dan Wilson put him out there for the fifth if he was only going to give him one batter. But like I thought he pitched well enough to warrant pitching the fifth. Having said that, like he was okay. Seattle, I don't think has to be their big concern is just where the offense was for them tonight.
Yeah, I was really happy with the way the Jays kind of took advantage, especially in the second inning. Suarez made 2 errors behind
Yeah,
Gilbert, and the Jays cashed both of those runners, or at least one of those runners was thanks to the error. Like one of those runs is unearned. And it was gutsy from the bottom of the lineup to get it done. The Jays did leave a few runners on base, and obviously the Mariners did that to a much, much higher degree. And that's the difference in the ball game tonight. Um, I was very, very happy with the approach against Gilbert. He came out firing. Like his stuff looked really good, and like it's a funky delivery. So like the fact that they were able to be all over him like that, like it was impressive for me, and I'd really like to see what the Jays were doing against him.
Yeah, and it's just kind of interesting when we're talking about the approach at the plate we have after every game, but especially after the first two games at home, they're swinging a lot early in counts and stuff. That approach really hasn't seemed to change. Like they're still pretty working aggressive tonight. Just the results are just there right now, and guys are getting a little better piece of the baseball, and so yeah, the approach has been the same, it seems, all series long here. They just executed better against Gilbert tonight, and hopefully the bats just keep rolling tomorrow. Because yeah, I mean they got damage from all over the lineup tonight. Barger had a great game again in the 7 spot. That's his best game of playoffs. I thought he looked the best he had at the plate. Anyways, I know he made some great defensive plays last game, but yeah, getting some impact from that bottom of the order was just as big, and Barger had a great game as well.
Yeah, so as we just mentioned, like Ernie freaking Clement, yeah. So he
Yeah,
had
man.
picked up two more hits tonight, a double and a triple, like awesome. He is having a hell of a postseason. He is hitting 447 with a 12, or no, sorry, an 1127 OPS. There's a decimal, there's a one starting Ernie Clement's OPS. It is absurd. And we'd
It,
also mentioning Addison Barger, who really, I don't know if he blew the game open, but his 2-run home run kind of felt like we can take a deep breath in this baseball game. Gave the Jays a little bit of space, a little bit of room to work with, and kind of set the tone for the rest of the evening. What did you see from those two guys?
yeah, Barger, I think you said it well. Like that home run was a big one, kind of sealed the deal. I just liked seeing him a lot more locked in at the plate tonight. Like he just looked a lot more comfortable in all his at bats. I think, yeah, I don't want to talk it too far ahead, but yeah, if the Jays need him to go, they need what he brings from the left side of the plate in that lineup and producing, and tonight was great. Clement, yes, just a terrific postseason. We don't talk about him enough. He hasn't been the sole star of any game. No one really has, but Ernie Clement's just one of the second or third supporting actors every single game. A couple hits here, playing defense wherever, here and there. That's really been the story of his season. It's the story of his playoff again. Ernie Clement needs to get a lot more credit. Another guy that too not seemingly getting enough shout is Vlad. Like we're just not really talking about what Vlad's doing enough. We're about 18 minutes in. We haven't even really talked about him too much, and I felt bad
We should get
when the
fired
comment
for
came
that.
up. Yeah, because but I mean it's sort of the expectation of Vlad now, right? Especially with that contract and what he means to this team is this is what he needs to do, but he needs to get recognized for doing what he does. And we shouted out his defense today. He made that great play for that home run. That's a huge home run too. Like that kind of got the crowd back into it. We can talk maybe a little bit about Yasevich getting pulled in the 6th there, but to me, the crowd momentum changed big when Louis Varland came in the game and started chucking the baseball all over the place. Crowd was not as hot as it was, and Vladdy, the home run really felt like that put the crowd back over the top to get to the finish line, and that was a mistake pitch by Gilbert, knocked him out of the game. Just that's what a hitter of Vladimir Guerrero's stature in a contending team in the ALCS needs to do. Just a great game from him again. Like his playoff numbers, like you read Clement's slash, like Vlad's is insane too. Like he's just batting crazy, playing crazy.
Yeah, so Vlad, 2 for 4 tonight. Obviously, that home run off Gilbert. We can question, and actually, I will question what the Mariners and Dan Wilson is thinking, sending Gilbert out in the 5th inning there to face Vlad for a third time. Like maybe he liked what Gilbert had done to Vlad. Like, uh,
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
I kind of thought at the time it was a little like they're approaching game 3 with Kirby. Like our offense isn't putting up many runs. It's a 4-run ball game. If it's 4 or 5 runs, whatever, can we just get Gilbert to get us through another inning and just see where we are in the next inning? But he gives up the home run to Guerrero, and then there's the quick hook, and that's where I now I'm finding no connect. I don't really know. Maybe they seen something when Gilbert came in. I mean, that was a hang me, bang me slider that Guerrero took over the wall. So maybe he comes out. Yeah, he's out. Like, we got to get him out of here. But yeah, Wilson's made some calls too, like this series that I've been a little unsure of. Um, I guess it's in the grand scheme of things, it's an inconsequential thing. But yeah, like if you're going to be that quick, just give your reliever the fresh inning.
I think so too, and like especially facing Vlad,
Unless
who
he's unless he's protecting Bizarro from Vlad tomorrow, I don't know.
no, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right, and like that's I don't know to leave Vlad like who's hitting 462 with a 1500 OPS. Like that's kind of I think that's just terrible and kind of I don't know. It's definitely not the move I would have made. I'll take it because Vlad is awesome. Um, we wants to talk about the Jays pitching decisions. Pulling Trey early and leaving Hoffman in for
Yeah,
35 pitches. I didn't mind the Trey Savage pull. He had a day off yesterday, and the way that John Schneider managed his bullpen tonight, I thought was awesome. I thought for lack of a better term, it was kind of balls of steel. He's like, here are my two best guys, save Sir Anthony Dominguez, obviously. Louis Varland for 4 outs, and then Jeff Hoffman for 6, 35 pitches. Kind of scary with the prospect of a game 7 tomorrow, but you're going to have a very fresh Dominguez. And I know damn well Jeff Hoffman is going to be available in that game as well. What do we think of the pitching decisions by the Jays?
I think it's great how we can look at pitching decisions when the pitchers come into the ball game and do their jobs,
Yep.
and how we talk about them when the pitchers come in and don't do their jobs. Um, I didn't like him taking Trey out in the 6th inning. I thought that had the potential of being a huge consequence in this baseball game. He's pitching great. He's pitched out of trouble all night long, like we talked about. He's buckled down and got the outs. He's kind of in the mid 80s in pitches there. He's just struck out Cal Raleigh. Let him pitch in just one more hitter in that 6th. Try to get out of it. Because the other thing with John Schneider is, I don't know, every time he goes to a righty in the bullpen, he thinks Eric Gagne from 2003 is coming out. Like, the guys that are coming out aren't better than the guy you have on the mound to get the out oftentimes. Let your starter buckle down and just try to get the out there, because if you do like Varland in that spot too, now you've got to think that's a high leverage situation I burned up early in this baseball game, and you don't have a lot of guys in that bullpen that can handle that. That's how we get Brandon Little pitching in game 5 with 6 outs to a 3-2 series lead. Like, I don't want to be critical of Schneider on that one. I don't want to go back too much in that, but pitching decisions like that get made when the manager doesn't have any confidence in any of the guys down there to get the outs. Nobody down there has stepped up and stepped to it. So yeah, Varland, I like him. I like him in some matchups. I don't dislike him coming into that ball game. Ultimately, he does kind of come in and get the job done. It's sort of sloppy though, not throwing strikes when he comes in, gives up a run. Yeah, he pitched well in the 7th. Hoffman comes in, pitches really, really good. But I would have liked them to see push Trey, get him to try to finish that 6th inning. It just seems like it's the same thing with Schneider. We're just always like, tonight, he kind of lingered at the top of the dugout before he pulled them. And it's almost like the natural inclination is, I'm just going to go get my starter. And he's thinking about it. Is there a reason to leave him in? Is there a reason to leave him in? And yet he just still, it goes and gets him. I mean, and like with the Gilbert thing, this is kind of inconsequential. Probably don't need to be talking about it all this much, but Farland comes in, and if the damage doesn't turn off there, you're kind of looking at, maybe we should have just left him in the game, try to get him that out, because the guys coming in from the bullpen aren't as good as the guy we have on the mound right now.
Okay, so what I'd say to that, and just to play devil's advocate, because I think at times, um, yeah, they can push their starters a little bit harder. Tonight, genuinely, I think Louis Varland was the right move. Um, Obviously, he got burned a little bit on that Suarez single, but like 58-mile-an-hour exit velo on that, man. Like, I really have a hard time getting mad at a pitcher for that. Obviously, worked himself into a 3-2 count, and had to throw a pitch that Suarez could get to, right? So, like,
That's
obviously, it's going to be
that's
on the
more
pitcher.
what I'm kind of like. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off and
No,
then get you into your point. I just more so Varland coming in. Like he's not throwing strikes. Temperature in the ballpark's down. Like you got to come in the bullpen, start throwing strikes, go at guys, um, because there's nothing different than what he did tonight compared to Little. I mean, there is something different, but that inning could have went just as haywire, and we could be talking about that just as people wanted to talk about the fifth game and the pitching decisions that were made there. So I don't want the results to speak for we made all the right moves, but I mean ultimately that's what this game is at the end of the day. So
okay. So I got a couple things there. So I think in a postseason game, if you win the game, you made all the right moves.
yeah, true. It's true.
I think that's like, especially this far into the playoffs in like a must-win game. You won the baseball game. You did what you needed to do to win the baseball game. I think that's enough conversation about it. But we have the time and the platform, so let's air it out a little bit. The other thing is, I think it's just as likely. Like Trey Savage was pitching behind a lot in that inning. He got 2 quick outs, but he was pitching behind. Um, the homer to Naylor was a hanging splitter. He'd thrown. I'm not exact sure of the final pitches, but he was getting up there like, and he was pitching on. Well, he was pitching on extra rest tonight, so I don't mind it. But like he was up like close to 80, 90 pitches. I think it can snowball on a starter just as fast, if not faster, than a reliever. I agree. Like I do prefer to bring in my relievers into like clean innings without runners on base, especially guys that might not be throwing strikes. But Varland is a strikeout guy. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but like I think he's got one walk in the postseason so far to like 10 or 11 strikeouts. Like he has been like filling it up. Even if he's behind in the counts, he usually doesn't lose guys. And we saw it tonight. Like he didn't walk anybody. And I think like just because it can snowball with anybody. You know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah,
mind it. I didn't
no,
mind it. I think you gotta get, especially third time through. Like hitters seeing a pitcher for a third time, especially the bottom of an order, like you might not get burned by homers by them, but like you leave up one more splitter, like it doubling the gap and like something is second and third and 2 outs, like and you walk one more guy and it's first and second. Like there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and especially a guy like you, Savage, 22 years old. Um, Big league baseball happens fast, man. And I think the decisions, like, it's kind of like John's like, I got to use it or lose it. And I think his choice was the right choice, even though it could be a little bit frustrating at times.
yeah, and you know what, your point of he had hung that split piece, and he was looking at the end of his rope, and I'm probably overselling the point, but I do think it's funny sometimes that we'll just like the results do speak for themselves, but decisions get made and they turn out to be the right thing, and the decision with Little, like had he come in and got those 3 outs, we're not talking like that was a bad decision in that baseball game. Ultimately, it's up to the guys to do their job tonight.
Exactly.
Farland came in and did his job. Hoffman did his job. So we don't have to talk about that. Probably shouldn't have spent all that time talking about it because we don't
Yeah.
need to. But yeah, ultimately, it just comes down to the guys doing their jobs. Hoffman came in, did his job tonight. Like they really pushed, asked for to get 6 outs out of him. It was 30 plus pitches, as Wheat said. So yeah, Hoffman, like that's a great job tonight. We'll see what his availability is like tomorrow. I don't know how comfortable I am pitching on a back to back, anyways, but we'll see. Be interesting to see what the pitching looks like tomorrow. But great job from the bullpen tonight. They did everything the manager asked for them. Farland, that was great. His stats have indicated that here in the playoffs, as somebody mentioned, and yeah, just need 9 innings, 9 more innings from someone tomorrow.
Yeah. They have to collect 27 outs and they have to score more runs than the Mariners, and we can put all of this bullpen and pitching decision conversation to bed, or at least for a couple days before we talk about it in the World Series. Jeff Hoffman tonight, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk, got 6 outs. Um, Terrifying ahead of like a game 7 literally tomorrow night, 24 hours from now. We'll probably be on the stream, hopefully talking about a Blue Jays win. I have a hard
Hopefully.
I have a hard time seeing how Jeff Hoffman factors into it. I have a hard time being comfortable bringing him in tomorrow after throwing 35 pitches. I know he's going to get some work done tonight, and work done tomorrow, and he'll be ready to go. But 35 pitches, asking your closer for 6 outs in a 4-run game, like I don't know if I loved it, but I can say for certain John Schneider's circle of trust is now, I think, literally 3 pitchers. And it's Louis Varland, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and Jeff Hoffman, and one of them is fresh for tomorrow. So, like, genuinely, I don't think there's another pitcher in the bullpen that John wants to use.
Oh, I can think of one.
Who?
Kevin Gosman.
Oh, Kevin
And
Gosman. You know what?
and
Max
I
Scherzer
think
too.
I think Kevin Gosman is going to factor into the ball game tomorrow. I think ideally how I would like to see a game possibly mapped out. If Bieber's going to be the game 7 guy, I'm not 100% sure on that, but Bieber, if he starts, him and somebody carry the ball game through 6 innings, and that's where Kevin Gosman enters. And talk about playoff moments, and there's lots of moments of Randy Johnson running in and Madison Bumgarner running in to finish out ball games. Why not Kevin Gosman? Give him the 7th and 8th innings, see how he's doing, how well he's moving through. He's the guy that I probably want to trust getting those final outs of the baseball game in. And yeah, get him in that baseball game in the 7th would be where I would kind of want to ballpark him. Just there's a spot where we can maybe get 7, 8 out of him and possibly give him a chance to finish out the ball game. And that way too, you can have Hoffman potentially there for an out or two in the 9th if possible. That's how I'm sort of mapping things out in my head. It's a wild one, but I'm looking at the availability, like you said, of arms tomorrow. I think Kevin Gosman is going to pitch tomorrow. The Jays aren't going to not have him come into the game if it's of consequence, and we'll see how John Schneider handles it.
Scary, scary stuff to talk about. I think it's maybe more likely we see Scherzer just because he's on an extra day's rest. He'd be good for at least a couple innings. I'm not sure if he's come out of the bullpen before, but he's a guy that's been in some deep playoff runs and won a World Series. So I'm sure it's at least been on the table for him before. Kevin Gosman, I don't know. I've never seen him come out of the bullpen, but like I mentioned, like the circle of trust is so small right now, and one of those guys just threw 35 pitches, and another one of them just got 4 outs. Um, yeah, you're probably. I think you're right. I think we're seeing at least one Blue Jays starter pitch in tomorrow's game. Following, I'm assuming it's Bieber. Nothing's been announced, but it's going to be Bieber. I will say, I don't feel great about that. I think the Jays have been the better team genuinely for most of the series. Um, I don't feel great about the bullpen matchup tomorrow in the pitching matchup. I think the Mariners, that is the spot they have a clear advantage. What do you think? How are you feeling about that going into tomorrow?
It's game 7.
Yeah.
I don't think anything really matters at this point. Like you make a valid point, a very good point. It's the Mariners do have that advantage, but all it takes is one tomorrow, one hit, one whatever, one error. Lots of things we've seen in the ball game today. So, yeah, just get on the sticks early. That's going to be the big thing, and just have the baseball game like it was tonight. Get out to that lead. Hopefully, you're starting pitching, and whoever comes in behind can just keep the outs moving, keep the game moving. Defense is playing great. Jays are. If they played like they did today, I thought tonight was a really good just showcase of how they've played baseball all season. Tonight was a really, really good game by them. And if they can just play the way they did, play defense, run the bases, and get some hits off. I think it might be Kirby tomorrow. I haven't really
I
heard
think
too
so.
much. Might see Wu, I think, at some point too from Seattle, but just keep the at bats going, be aggressive. It seems to be working for them, and just try to make plays.
Yeah, I think tonight was definitely like a microcosm of what we've seen the Blue Jays do all season. Like tonight was Blue Jays baseball at its core. They took advantage of the Mariners' mistakes. They were on base all night. They played awesome defense. They got a good start from their starting pitcher, and the bullpen came in and did its job, even if it wasn't exactly sexy at times. Man, I'm nervous for tomorrow. Like I can't like I'm already like usually I can enjoy a win and then move on tomorrow morning. I'm already like my mind's racing. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sleep tonight.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's going to be a long 20 some hours here till first pitch.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think about. Toronto Blue Jays are playing Game 7, chance to go to the World Series. Like this is something I've never had as a fan.
No.
This is just thrilling, and I tried to tell myself tonight, just enjoy the game, just watch it, try to enjoy it, and thankfully tonight was a very enjoyable ball game. But a lot is riding on tomorrow night, and this it's a season defining moment. It's a legacy defining moment for this team. Will be for a lot of these players too. Postseason runs that they're having, and what they can do pushing this team to the finish line. So it's just going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. Going to try to enjoy it, but yeah, I mean, I'm already nervous. I'm already nervous talking way too much. So
Yeah. Okay, to lay the mood a little bit, we wants to know who has the better no doubter swing, prime Joey Bats or prime Vladdy. For me, I think I'm gonna have to go Vladdy. Like he kind of pimps them like no other. Vladdy knows when he gets them every time. Uh, I would have to say Vladdy, but what do you think?
oh man, that's a yeah. I think think Vlad might be the right answer, but no, like it's Batista for me. I think like
Okay,
just
okay,
um oh man, like those ones like that one time he hit one off Ivan Nova after Nova was staring him down and he just staring him down. Like the swing was so violent to left field. I just for nostalgia, I gotta say Jose, but the answer's Vlad. I think, yeah.
okay. Yeah, that man, Jose Bautista would be a
Who
good
has the
bet out of the
worst?
lineup tomorrow. The worst?
Yeah, that would be a good
Oh,
question.
no doubter
Fred
swing?
Lewis.
Maybe. I don't know. Andres Jimenez, I guess they're all doubters. So, like, they go out. I'm like, no, it flew out again, man. And it just keeps going. I'm like, oh, man, he hit a homer. So maybe that makes it more exciting for me. I don't know.
I did want to talk two things before we leave, just
Yeah.
on Dalton Varsho, because I thought he made two really good plays tonight. Things that maybe we take a little for granted, but I thought just speak to how well this team plays. And the first was in that third inning when they got their runs. He let off with that base hit, and he gets to second base because he makes a great read on the base pass. He's putting himself in a position to take that extra base, and that inning plays out so much differently if he's not on second base. So that was just a really good. You see that every day from Dalton Varsho, every day from players on this team. It was just nice to see the Jays get rewarded for a guy doing that. And then the next inning, Varsho's backs up that ball that went off the wall. I think Rivas hit it that Barger went up for to get. JP Crawford only gets the second base on that play, and that's probably because he sees Dalton Varsho getting over there and backing up that baseball. We see it an inning later when Clement hits that triple off the left field fence. He gets the third base because Rodriguez is nowhere to be found. He's not back in the playoffs. So to me, like it's an old axiom in baseball: runs are bases, bases are runs. Like Dalton Varsho prevents takes bases on those two plays there. And Seattle gave some bases away. Rodriguez there, for instance, if he's back in that playoff, Clement maybe doesn't feel comfortable going to third base. He probably doesn't. Suarez makes the error. So just two really good plays I wanted to point out from Dalton Varsho. He's had a bit of a tough series, especially at the plate. He was pretty good tonight, and just two things that I really noticed that I thought were A+ plays and helped this team win.
No, you're right there. I love you pointing that out. Like he does the little things so well. And like, yeah, it's been a tough series for him at the plate. Like I think he was like 3 for 21 at some point. Maybe it's 4 for 22 now or something like that. Something along those lines. Like it's been a tough series for him, but he's still doing the little things very, very well. And yeah, him backing up that play where the ball hit off the wall over Barger's head and keeping Crawford to a very long single, or was Crawford on second? He got to second base. Either way, keeping him to a long single, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a sneaky, sneaky important play, especially at that point in the game when it was closer like that, and it helped keep the double play in order, which eventually paid off for your Savage. Yeah, great call on you for pointing that out. Wheat mentions that
Yeah,
the
and
15 and oh yeah, go ahead.
no, and I just wanted to say, like, the one thing that went through my mind when I seen that play was I was imagining Colby Rasmus if he was in that position. Colby Rasmus probably wouldn't back up that play in right field, and Colby Rasmus maybe doesn't get to second base on play. And I'm not throwing it straight at Colby Rasmus, but it just seems that the Jays have prioritized getting players that play the game the way Varsho does, just hard, wanting to take those bases, recognizing that the game is that. And it was just nice to see the Jays get rewarded for playing the way that they have with the players that they have. And it was just a couple plays I wanted to point out.
No, I love it. I think Varsho is honestly a great representation of what Blue Jays baseball has been all season and what this team does and what they're trying to do. Plays so hard, and I think the attention to detail on plays like that, great on you for pointing that out. Wheat mentions that these or that he doesn't remember the bottom of the order having this big of a contribution in 2015 and 16, both offensively and defensively, and I think that goes further to the point of what this team does. Like it's guys like Ernie Clement every night. Like he's having, we mentioned it earlier, having the postseason of his life. He's hitting 447 in the postseason. Ernie Clement is like been one
Yeah.
of the best hitters in
Yeah.
baseball for damn near a month now. Like
Ezekiel Carrero wasn't doing that.
no, like Ezekiel Carrera disappeared. Like same with Kevin Pillar. Like, and these are guys like I loved watching these guys. But like what the bottom of the Jays order is doing, even IKF, like who like is sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes looks lost and like he got asked to do too much at work, like worked too hard, accidentally earned a promotion, like accidentally became important at work. Like you know what I mean? Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was playing it well. I mean, he was playing in Pittsburgh 2 months ago.
exactly,
There can't be a
exactly.
bigger promotion in baseball than going from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the ALCS. But we talked a bit about AKF's defensive play. That double play ball he turned in the fourth inning, like that was just a great play. There's not a defender on the team that I'd want outside of maybe Jimenez or definitely Jimenez and maybe Clement
Yeah.
making that play. Great play by IKF, and he's handling the bat really well at the plate, playing really well. I think I said it last time we were on here. I cannot believe if you told me 8 weeks ago IKF would be a meaningful player on a playoff roster, I would wonder how we got there.
I'd
And
feel sick to my stomach just at the thought of it, to be honest. And to be honest, sometimes I still do. But like what he's done, and like he's played important roles in these 3 wins the Jays have picked up in this series. So it's hard to be too critical of what he's done.
he's overtaken Davis Schneider,
Yeah,
and playing well and playing to substantiate that decision. So, yeah, no, I mean, just another guy. Again, I don't think those teams 10 years ago had. They did have some guys, but not picking up the amount of weight that the guys at the bottom of the order are doing right now, and it's everyone. So
yeah, man, this team is special. This team, I hate to say it, but I think they deserve to win tomorrow. Like I think all things being just, I
there's no
think the
deserve in baseball.
I know, and unfortunately, that's not how things work. So I guess we're gonna have to watch the game anyways. But
Yeah,
but no, like I think the Jays are the better team. I think the Jays are the best team in the American League. I've watched 6 games of these two teams play. I think I like what the Jays do better than what the Mariners do, and I think obviously tomorrow's a coin flip. Like it could literally go 50-50, could go any way. But at the
I
same
think it.
time,
I
I
think
think
it's
I'm gonna
going.
pick the Jays to win.
Nice. I'm going to stay away from predictions, but it's going to come down to the pitching because
Yeah.
when Seattle's bats are neutralized, they look a little ordinary. So If it's Bieber that gets the start, if Gosman comes in, whoever it is tomorrow, just gotta pitch good, clean, good, sharp defense. I know that's a given. Just need really, really good pitching. I have all the confidence in the offense, the way everyone's swinging it right now. I think as long as the pitching can keep the game clean, offense is going to do work. And yeah, I feel optimistic going into tomorrow, but it's going to be a stressful day. It's going to be stressful.
Yeah, if I still have hair by this time tomorrow night, that'll be a good sign for for Blue Jays fans all over the country. So keys to victory, you think it's the pitching? You think that's the way it's got to be starting pitching, right?
Yeah, I mean, starting pitching, it's been big getting them back in this
Yeah.
series, right? Max Scherzer start Trey's tonight. This team does have a problem getting to 27 outs. There's defects on every baseball team at this point in the season, and I mean, 27 teams are done right now, right? So all the warts that show, they've still gotten you to this point, but Toronto's biggest challenge tomorrow is going to be getting away to 27 outs after their starter comes out of the ball game. And if they can do that, if they can do it the way they did tonight, then I think they'll be fine. I think the offense is swinging the bats well. I'm not worried that they're going to disappear like they did at the start of this series.
No, yeah, you're right because yeah, I think I just feel way better about the spot that the Jays bats are going into tomorrow compared to where the Mariners are. I think the Jays have like sneakily kind of figured out how to pitch to these guys. Like Julio's been quiet. They kind of figured out that if they crowd Rayleigh, like especially from the left side of the plate, if they get in on his hands, he kind of gets uncomfortable. Like when you let him get comfortable leaning out over the plate, sitting on soft stuff is kind of when he's dangerous. So and they can make an adjustment at any time, and that's what's scary about facing this Mariners team. Like look at Naylor. Like Naylor's kind of got comfortable. He's another guy I'd
Yeah.
really like to see them crowd more. And we're going long here, so my apologies. But Naylor's like a guy, and he's been wearing out the Jays. Hit another homer tonight. He's a guy I'd love to see them pitch inside more. I think he's getting comfortable going the other way, and that floating splitter from Trey. Obviously, you're going to make mistakes, but he got to it and punished it right. So I think the Jays have kind of figured out how they want to attack Mariners hitters, and it's been working. Aside from one inning on Friday, it has been working for the last 5 games, right? Like, am I, or 4 games at least? Like, am I out of touch to say that?
No, and you're right, and it's been a big part of the guys that have been throwing too, and yeah, just hopefully they can stick to the game plan. The game plan's been fine. My issue has just been kind of coming in and not throwing well out of the bullpen to start. And it just hasn't been clean, getting high in counts and walking guys a little bit. So just hopefully whoever comes in tomorrow, just a little sharper in that aspect. Just don't want to see the game get away from the Jays. I think that's the only chance they really have at losing the game is if it gets away from them at some point, and they just gotta be composed and hopefully they get some pitching like they did tonight with Yusevich because he pitched them out of some big jams and that's what they're going to need to get tomorrow because there's going to be some opportunities that come up in the baseball game where you're going to need your pitcher to get you out like that.
Yeah, it's going to be one of the most stressful days I've had in a long time tomorrow. I'm so
You
upset
will
that they're not starting literally right now. Like, I,
be nice.
yeah, I don't know how I'm going to get through tomorrow. But this is what we earned because the Blue Jays won tonight 6-2 over the Seattle Mariners, forcing a game 7 at the Rogers Center with a chance to go to the World Series. A chance to go to the World Series on the line tomorrow. Can you believe we're saying that? If I told you that in March or February or even in September, you would have signed up in a heartbeat. Like you would have been ecstatic.
Yeah, I wouldn't have believed you. I mean, like I said, I've never been a fan to see them get to this point, and it's just yeah, I still don't believe really those words you're saying. They're going to the World Series or they're, got the chance to play for the World Series.
Careful.
Yes, we did go on too long tonight. I almost bit my tongue, but
Yeah.
yeah, chance to go to the World Series tomorrow. Winner play game takes all game. Just incredible. And whatever happens tomorrow, it happens. It's baseball, but the Jays are playing for that chance, that game 7. Nothing else you could ask for as a fan.
Man, yeah, I don't want to get out of here, but we have to, okay? So, thank you to everybody who tuned in to Jay Center's post-game instant reaction live stream on YouTube and Facebook. It was a lot of fun. Tonight's baseball game might not have felt fun in the moment. I think we'll look back on it in the future in maybe in this off season and think, man, that was fun. Um,
All
and
these games will.
yeah, it feels fun talking about another Blue Jays win tonight. All right, Mac, let's get out of here. Rest up.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is going to be a long and stressful day. Go Blue Jays, man.
Yes. Go Blue Jays, and hopefully we're still smiling when we see everyone again tomorrow.
Man, I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Okay, we'll talk to you guys next time.